Good morning, everybody. This is Andree, and I'm teach at Jewish Community Center, yoga teacher. So today our routine is going to be about the shoulders. So as we move into the standing poses and moving to our straight bearing poses, let's bring awareness to what is happening in our shoulders. Okay, there is a lot of discomfort in shoulders sometimes, especially when you do some weight bearing or some chaturanga. So we're going to begin seated. So cross your leg, cross at the ankle, sit on a support so that your sitting bones are elevated and your spine can rise. Now as you're sitting here, you can keep your eyes open for a few seconds. Let the shoulders release away from your ears. Now we're going to close your eyes and we're going to monitor our breaths. So close your eyes, take a deep inhale to your nose, pause, and exhale to your mouth. Inhale to your nose, pause, exhale to your mouth. Let's do 5 more breaths this way. Inhaling, pausing, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Continue to do that 3 more times. And slowly open your eyes, breathing normally. Okay. Let's begin bringing awareness to your shoulders right now. So lift the shoulders up to your ears and then rotate the shoulders back and down. I'm going to do that a few times. I'm going to use the breath. Inhaling, exhaling. 3 more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale. Take the side of one side of your head. Inhale here. As you exhale, gently press your head to the side. And now let your opposite arm reach for the floor. And so bring awareness to the side of your neck, moving down the shoulders. So you may feel some tightness there. You just continue to breathe normally. As you take your next inhale, just come back to the center. And let's do the other side. So inhaling here, exhaling, bring your head out to the side. Letting your other arm reach for the floor, feeling again the stretch from the side of your neck to the top of the shoulders, the head of the shoulders. And then inhaling back to the center. Now let's hold the back of your head. And then slowly begin to press your head forward, but keep the sternum lifted. So don't collapse the front of your spine. And now feel the trapezius muscles connecting at the base of your skull, down the back, the upper back. Inhaling, coming back to the center. And bring your hands on your knees. Now let's begin to stretch your right arm up. Reach up to the ceiling. And then bend at the elbow. And concentrate on the lengthening of the right upper arm. So the elbow moving up to the ceiling. Your right hand reaching down between the shoulder blades. And you want to think about the rotation. So you're rotating the triceps toward the midline, so you can take your hand and manually do that. You continue to breathe normally, and then exhaling, release the arm down. Take a moment to feel the right side. And then extending your left arm up, reaching up to the ceiling. Okay, bending at the elbow. Again, concentrating on the lengthening of the triceps, so the triceps rotate in toward the midline. Breathing into that stretch. Elbows reaching for the ceiling, and your hand, your left hand, reaching down between the shoulder blades. And then exhale, release. Okay, let's pause here for a little bit so you can let the shoulders rotate a little bit, and just close your eyes again and just experience the sensation in your shoulders, the little warming up that you did in those muscles. And now we're going to go to your mat, if you were not on your mat. We're starting in child's pose. Child's pose in Sanskrit is called Supta Virasana. A lot of time we don't call it that, but it's what it is, Supta Virasana. Okay. Begin to slide your hands forward, and then release your forehead to the mat. Take what you need. If you need something underneath your head, you can just place something there. And let's breathe 5 times, 5 deep breaths. So inhaling to the nose, pausing at the end, and then exhaling to the mouth 5 times. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then let's shift to our hands and knees. Keeping the wrist beneath the shoulders. You're going to step your right foot back and step your left foot back as you press into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Keep shifting your feet back a little bit to get length in your spine. Now we're going to keep the toes turned under. You're going to inhale into an upward facing dog. Press it back to downward facing dog. Now if you find that your feet were too far back, which is what I've done right now, just bring your feet in a little bit, and then inhale into upward facing dog with the toes turned under. Keep those legs fully extended. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do this one more time. Inhaling. Exhaling. Coming back to your knees to child's pose. Continue to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And now let's repeat the sequence, coming back to your hands and knees, pressing back to downward facing dog. Inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then come to your knees. Stretch to child's pose. So we're going to move to standing poses. So you're going to take a block. The first pose that we're going to do is triangle pose. And as we do triangle pose, we're going to move our neck in different directions to explore the length of the neck and maybe the tightness or the release in the neck. So let's do it in flow. So have your back block to the right side. You come to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Place the block right by your ankle. Come up. Straighten both legs. Okay, extend the arms. Look over your fingers to the right arm. As you exhale, come into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Keep rooting to the back foot, rooting to the front foot. Now, turn your head down. Look at your right foot, and then begin to stretch your top arm back. Breathe here. And then as you inhale, bring your arm back to center. Look up at your hand. And let's do this one more time. Exhale, look down at your right foot, and let your top arm reach back. You're going to inhale, come up. Take the block to the other side. Extend the arms. As you exhale, reach out. Come into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now, root to the outer edge of the back foot, root to the big toe mark of the front foot. Now begin to turn your head, looking down at your left foot, and then stretch the right arm back. Feel the stretch in your neck. And then inhale, looking up, bring the arms back to center. Let's do this one more time. Look down at your left foot. Bring your arm out behind you. Breathe here. Inhaling. Looking up. And coming all the way up. Okay, let's turn the toes to point forward. Place your hands on the top of your hips. Move the elbows back. Open the chest. Feel the shoulder blades sliding down your back toward each other. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Keep your concave back as low as you can. Keep the elbows in. And then take your block, which is right there. And either place your elbows onto the block, or your hands on the block, or even just have your hands on the floor, on your mat. So you choose the position that you want to go into. From here, you want to root the legs, Keep the elbow, if you decide to bring your hands to the floor, keep your elbows in, release your head toward the floor. Keep lifting the inner thighs away from each other. So you're pressing the inner thighs toward the outer thighs. Let the head hang freely. And I'm going to inhale, stretch your spine. Walk your hands forward and step back to downward facing dog. And come to your knees to child's pose. Bring your awareness again to the shoulders, to the neck, and you're going to come back into downward facing dog. You're going to step your left foot forward, take your block, place the block to the outside of your left ankle. So I have my left foot forward. Okay, now move the other edge of the back foot. Rotate that right shoulder up. And then can you bring the arm straight up to the ceiling first. And then bring the arm by your ear. But don't let the arm sink. Keep extending from the other edge of the back foot all the way to the fingertips. And then inhaling, come back up. Take your block with you. Place it to the other side. Bending your knee. Placing your head on the block. Rotating the left shoulder up to the ceiling. Pressing your knee against your arm. Stretch your left arm up first. And bring the arm by your ear. Keep breathing here. See, can you bend your knee a little bit more? Inhaling, coming back up. Turn your toes point forward. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale into a forward bend. Let the head release. Firm up the legs. And now inhaling, place your hands on your hips. Come all the way up and walk your feet toward each other. Okay? You may want to take 2 blocks for the next one, but I recommend having 2 blocks. So you're going to have your left foot back, right foot forward. Now, turn your left foot back a lot. Enough that you feel that it becomes easier to guide the hips in a square position. Now hold on to your elbows. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, keep concave as low as you can, reaching forward through your sternum. Inhaling, come back up. Exhaling. Keep moving the shoulder blades toward each other. Inhaling, come back up. Now we're going to extend the arms over your head. Exhaling, come forward. Bring your hands to the block. Continue to lengthen the spine. Rotating, keeping the right hip moving toward the left hip. Left hip toward the right hip. You breathe into this space Okay, breathe into your nose. Exhale into your mouth. One more breath here. Now place your hands on your hips. Come up. And let's switch to the other side. So step your right foot back. Turn your right foot in and out. Again, guiding the hips to face forward. You're going to hold onto your elbows. So now this switch elbow, you hold on naturally and switch, hold on to the other elbow. Okay, like inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, coming forward, keeping the back concave as long as you can. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling. Inhaling. Extend the arms over your head. Exhaling, come forward. Make sure you are reaching forward from the strength of the back leg. Keep the spine lengthening. Breathing here. Inhaling to the nose. Exhaling to the mouth. Keep rotating the left hip, moving toward the right hip. Feel the compactness of your hip. And then inhaling, place your hands on your hips, come all the way up, and step forward. So let's do a samastiti, standing, so forward bend. Have your feet hip width apart. Let's start with the arms hanging by your side. Okay, we're standing in mountain pose, Tadasana. Let the shoulders become heavy. So feel the shoulders dropping away from your ears. Okay. Now you're going to extend the arms up. Bend the palms, you're going to reach up to the ceiling. Exhaling. Bringing the arms down. Releasing by your side. Okay, so now we're going to inhale the arms up. Grab your elbows. Reach up with the elbows. Exhale. Come forward to a forward bend. Uttanasana. Keep the elbows reaching forward and down. Feel some freedom in your neck. So you want to lengthen to the armpits of the shoulders, from the armpits of the shoulder all the way to the elbows. You keep your head and your ears between your arms, and you keep your weight shifted forward toward the toes. You may get a feeling that you could fall forward, so you want to press your heels down at the same time as you're shifting your weight forward. And now release the elbows. Let your hands come to the floor or to a block if you have a block by your side. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. And returning to Tadasana. Okay? Now we're going to take a strap. I'm going to go into a seated position. Make sure you're sitting on something that's comfortable, so again, you have a support for your sitting bones. In my case, I am going to use a support. My faithful meditation cushion. Cross your legs. You're going to take your strap. You're going to hold it. You don't have to make a loop. Just have a strap. But if you don't have a strap, you can use a towel, a small towel. So we always have things in our house that we can substitute for yoga props. Okay. So you're going to stretch your right arm up. You're going to bend at the elbow, just the way we did at the beginning of class. Now you're going to extend your left arm out. Turn the palm to face back, bring the arm behind you, grab the strap. You know, as you're pulling with your right hand onto the strap, you're also pulling with your left hand. So you pull up with the right hand, pull down with the left hand. Don't work to discomfort. If you find that this is hurting your shoulders, then walk your hand down a little bit more. Okay? And let's take 3 breaths here. Inhaling, pause, exhaling. As you inhale, lengthen the elbows a little bit more up to the ceiling. Exhaling, pull with your left hand a little bit more. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's do one more breath here. And then slowly release. Okay, place the strap in front of you. Sit here with your eyes closed and take your mind to the right side of your shoulders, upper body. Maybe the right side of your neck, the right side of the head of the shoulders, down your back. Notice that maybe you get a sense of well-being on this side. Okay, now we're going to do the second side. So you take the strap and place the strap in your left hand, extend the arm up, and then bend at the elbow. Take your right arm out to the side, turn the palm to face back, bring the arm behind you, and then bend the elbow to grab the strap. So once you're here, again, connect to that. What are you doing? What is the action? What is the point of doing this exercise? So one of the points is to open the armpits of the shoulders. So you're stretching the left triceps right now. So you're reaching your left elbow to the ceiling and you are pulling with your right hand to get that leverage that you need to open up. So let's take 3 breaths this way. Okay, so go to inhale, lengthen up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull down a little bit more with your right hand. Let's inhale. Exhale, pull down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And release. Have your arms by your side. You know, just close your eyes again and feel the thoracic spine. Feel that it may have become easier to drop the head of the shoulders down away from your ears. So we're going to repeat the movement we did at the beginning of class, taking one side of your head, gently pressing the head out to the side, letting your left arm release down toward the floor. And notice maybe you could find a difference from the first time you did that. You may find, oh, I'm not as tight as I was at the beginning of the class. So enjoy that and you just learn from that the body really responds quickly to movement, to the right movement. And then come back to the center. And let's do the second side. So take the side of your head, bring it out to the side, and let your right arm reach for the floor. Enjoy that freedom that you created in your neck and shoulders. Coming back to the center, you're going to bring your hands behind your head. I usually like to interlace my hands. It gives me nice support for the back of my head, and also keep the elbows opening out wide. And then as you maintain the lift in the sternum, just let your head come forward, let the weight of your hands on your head. So notice that when we talk about shoulders, we cannot avoid talking about the neck, because you can see the trapezius muscles really begin at the base of your skull And they're very strong muscles. There's a lot of layers of muscles in your neck. And you want to work in a way that access the deeper layers of the muscles. And then slowly you could bring your head back up. So already you should start to feel some well-being in your shoulders. So the next pose we're going to go back to the mat doing dolphin pose. So move the prop you were sitting on to the side. Okay, standing on your knees. You're going to interlace your fingers, and you can, you know, some people like to do that when you come down. You hold on to the elbows to make sure that your elbows are in alignment with the shoulders. Once you've done that, then you open the arms, you interlace your fingers. You pause there before you lift the knees up. So you're on your knees right now. And I want you to press the forearms down so that as we come up to dolphin, there should be no stress on your neck or shoulders. Okay? So let's tuck the toes under, press the forearms down, lift the knees up, and begin to move into your dolphin pose. Adjust your feet accordingly, especially if they were not centered. So you want to center your feet on your mat. You want to continue to root the forearms to the ground. Now don't force in the shoulder. If you find some tension in your shoulders, then you should pull away from it. You don't want to work to death. Let your hand hang naturally between your arms. Keep pressing. Concentrate on the forearms, pressing from the wrist all the way to the elbows. And now slowly come to your knees. Take your arms by your side. Let the shoulders open up. Feel the shoulders spreading. Let's take 5 breaths here. Let's play with the breath again. You're going to inhale, pull the belly in. Pause. Exhale to your mouth. Let the belly relax. Let's do 4 more breaths this way. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now observe that you may find yourself doing the opposite of what I said, because we all are different. So you may feel that when you inhale, you feel the belly expanding. As you exhale, you can pull the abs in a little bit more. Because you choose the action in your belly that works with your breath. Let the shoulders relax more and more and more. Feel the heaviness of the shoulders. And then slowly come up. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to again revisit dolphin pose. But once we're in dolphin pose, we're going to step back, bring yourself into a forearm plank. Okay, so again, you can play with your elbows, hold on to your elbows to make sure that your elbows are shoulder width apart. Interlace your fingers. Okay, connect to the forearms. This is really important because if you try to lift before you have established your foundation, that's how you hurt your shoulders. So you want to feel that there's no stress in the shoulders whatsoever. Press the forearms down, tuck your toes under, lift the knees up, and then slowly reach back to dolphin pose. Continue to root to the forearms. Now, begin to walk back, coming into forearm plank. Forearm plank. Observe what is happening in your shoulders. The legs, keep stretching the legs back. And then slowly come to your knees. Slide your arms by your side. and release in your child's pose with the spine releasing, the shoulder blades spreading. Okay, using the breath, inhaling through your nose, exhaling, suck that belly in. Again, inhaling through your nose, exhaling. 3 more breaths this way. And sit up. The next pose we're going to do is Cobra. And we're going to concentrate on the, again, the shoulder action in Cobra. So you're going to lie down on your belly. Bring your forehead to the ground first. Bring your hands by your lower ribs. Elbows in. Now, legs fully extended. Begin to reach, to press your hands down as you reach your spine forward and up. So it's not a big lift. Keep the elbows moving in. Breathe in there. Exhaling, release your forehead down. Inhaling, coming back to Cobra. Exhaling. Let's do this one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Let's push back to child's pose. And then come back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Observe your dog pose now after you did all that work. And let's walk your feet toward your hands. Releasing here in forward bend. You're going to hold onto your elbows. So change the way you hold onto your elbows. Stretch the elbows forward and down into forward bend. And then as you inhale, place your hands on your hips, come all the way up. And come back to standing pose Tadasana. Now today we are going to do pigeon pose with emphasis on what is happening in the shoulders when you do pigeon. So those of you who need a block underneath, we're going to start with the right leg. So those of you who need a block underneath your right hip, have your block by your side. Okay, so let's go into downward facing dog. You're going to stretch your right leg up, bend the knee, open your hip, and then you're going to swing your leg into pigeon pose. So this is when you decide what do you want to do. You want to put the block underneath your right sitting bones. Okay, so keep your hands on the floor, keep the arms extended. Inhale, lengthen the spine. So we need to maintain that hollowness between the shoulder blades. Maintain the head of the shoulders, releasing down. And then you're going to separate your hands a little wider. You can even turn the fingers in, or you can keep the fingers pointing straight forward. Okay, you're going to inhale here, and then exhale, let the elbows open up to the side, releasing the forehead to the ground. Inhaling, pushing back up. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And now walk your elbows onto the mat. Pause here, just letting the body receive the pose. Keep that right hip moving back, so don't let it sink forward. So don't let your weight sink totally to the right. You want to bring weight to the left. And now you're going to come back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Extending your left leg up, bend your knee, open your hip. Exhaling, bring your leg into the pigeon pose position. Again, you can place a block underneath your sitting bones. Keep that left hip moving back. Inhaling here. Keep the spine lengthening, keep the chest open. And then you're going to walk your hands out. Again, you can turn your fingers in. It really depends on your shoulders, how it feels. Okay, so you can do both ways. You know, to exploring the range of your shoulders. You're going to inhale here. Exhaling, let the elbows spread out to the side. Now bring your forehead down to the mat. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Now bring your hands to the center, come onto your forearms. And take a few breaths here, receiving the pose. Connected to the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Learning to use the breath on the move, because as we concentrate on the movement of the breath, it takes your mind away from any discomfort you may be experiencing. And when I talk about discomfort, I'm not talking about pain, about sharp pain. It's just effort usually creates some discomfort. Inhale, push back. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come to your knees. And let's bring the arms alongside your legs. Relax the shoulders, bring your forehead to the ground. Fully relax. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then as you inhale, let's sit up. We're going to sit with your legs in Dandasana, which is staff pose. Again, you may want to really elevate your sitting bones today. And again, you don't have to. If somebody you feel, we're going to do a twist. If you feel that the support underneath your sitting bones really doesn't work for you, then again, you always let go of props whenever you can. Okay, props are there to assist you, not to handle you. So I'm going to sit on a prop today. So have your prop high enough so that it feels easy for the spine to be lengthening. Now this is very important because we're going to do a twist. So when you do a twist, you don't want the spine to be rounded. Okay, you want to make sure your spine is lengthening, dropping the tailbone down, lifting to the crown of the head. Okay, you're going to take the back of your right knee and bring the foot in, and then iron out the calf. Bring your foot as close to your sitting bones as you can, and then press your hands behind you, lengthen the spine here. Now you're going to stretch your left arm up, reach up, and on the sharp exhalation, you're going to bring your elbow to the outside of your right knee, coming into the twist. So now you want to walk your right hand back to the left buttock. Pull the belly in. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Keep pressing your knee against your arm and your arm against your knee. Exhale, release to the center. So notice when we do twist, the twist happen in a thoracic spine, in the T12. Choose the last vertebra and the first lumbar vertebra. That's the place where it happens. Stretch your legs forward. Now grab underneath your left knee, iron the calves up, bring your knee all the way in. Your foot all the way in. You pause there, lengthen the spine. So you want to have a concave thoracic spine when you do a twist. And you don't want the shoulders to rise up in doing the twist this way. Then it's not a twist anymore, and it could even be damaging for your spine. So have your hands behind you, stretch your right arm up, reach up to the ceiling, sharp exhalation, bring your elbow to the outside of your knee, and then press your knee and your arm against each other, walk your left hand toward the right buttock, and breathe. We'll take 3 breaths here. It should feel good. And release back to the center. Okay, you could continue to sit on your support, but in my case, I've decided that I prefer to sit down flat on the floor. But again, we're going to do Dandasana, which is a forward bend. So it's important that you feel that you have control over the length of your spine. So bring your hands behind you, lengthen the spine. You can have your hips, your feet a little wider apart. Okay. Again, if you need a strap for this one, have your strap by your side. Okay. So you can begin to hinge forward, grab the big toe, or use your strap. Okay. Pulling on the big toe and pressing your feet into your fingers, keep a hollow back. So you are trying to keep a flat back. And then if you feel comfortable here, you can either walk your hands down the strap, if you're using a strap, or grab the edge of your feet. Those of you who are grabbing your feet. And here you're going to begin to exhale forward, leading with the sternum, lift the elbows up, and release your head down. Again, this is all about keeping the thoracic spine engaged. And you can come up a little bit, inhaling just to revisit the length of your spine, and then exhaling, coming forward. Sometimes flowing into these forward bend are really helpful. And then you could inhale, come up. And we are going to do a passive shoulder opening. Now I'm going to use a block. However, if the block is too much for you, you could decide to take a blanket, but you don't want to use a pillow because pillow is too wide, or you could take a blanket and you get a blanket so I can show you. So you could take a blanket and roll it up this way, place it sideways on your mat. And then what you're going to do, you're going to drape your shoulders so that the blanket is going to hit the center of your lumbar spine. Have your legs together and then curl off over the blanket. Now here you do that and you say, wow, that doesn't feel good at all. So it means don't avoid doing it, just adjust the blanket. Maybe you want it to be a little lower or maybe a little bit higher. So you experiment, this is your body. And sadly, I'm not there to watch you and to adjust you, so you have to develop the intelligence about your body. So releasing over your support. You can start with the arms over your head and then let the arms rest by your side. Let's take 5 breaths here. And you know you can always pause the video if you feel you need to adjust and just continue on. So you want to be able to receive that opening. Notice the breath may feel a little bit more restricted in that position. You want to keep the legs together so the legs are active. Imagine you standing up. And now you're going to bend your knees, roll over the bolster, and just place the bolster or your blanket, sorry about that, place your blanket this way on your mat. So you change the position of the blanket. Okay? Now you're going to sit on the edge of the blanket. It's like doing Setu Bandha. So for now, keep your knees bent. You're going to curl your spine alongside the blanket. And it should be comfortable for your head to go back, but if it's not, then you take a block, place it at the end of the blanket, then as you go back, let your head be supported by the block. So again, these are all individual positions. So now the point of this is to feel that support right along the lumbar spine and visualize the muscles releasing away from the spine. Let the arms rest by your side. And I would suggest you keep your knees bent for this, for a couple of breaths. Now, notice that in our daily life, tension resides in our neck and in our shoulders. So this is a therapy yoga, where you use yoga to help your body. So it goes beyond the idea of exercise. Now you can experiment with extending your legs forward, and then your legs are a little bit separated, and maybe express extending your arms over your head. You could even remove, if you have a block, remove the block and see, my head comes easy to the floor. And you're going to bring your arms down, bend your knees, roll off the blanket, and just move the blanket to the side. And we may use it for Shavasana to put underneath your knees. So we're going to do fish pose. I'm going to introduce fish pose today. So you lie down on your back, and then begin to curl up. And then slowly release back down. Here you can take the blanket, place it underneath your knees or underneath the upper thighs. Stretch the legs. So flex your muscles in your legs and then relax the legs. Now make a fist and relax your fingers. Stretch the fingers and relax. Make sure your shoulder blades are in a comfortable position. Fully release now, no more work. Close your eyes. Shavasana. this video is going to end very shortly, so if you want, you can just stay in your Shavasana, or you can bend your knees, roll to your side to come up to a seated position. Just like what we did at the beginning of class. Take a moment to observe your body. Again, if you need to sit on something, always don't be shy, just stop what you're doing and just elevate the sitting bones. Okay, you're gonna have the palms down, the palms up. Now lift the sternum, lift the front of your spine to the pubic bone, to the collarbone. As you do that, release the shoulders down. And now bring the palms together. Have the heel of your palm touching your sternum. And so that the fingers are pointing forward. Keep your eyes closed. Take a deep breath in. And as you take your next exhalation, bow to yourself with gratitude. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this morning, and have a great weekend. Great rest of the week.